Now, I think it's pretty safe to say that the future of the Star Wars universe seems to be quite expansive, not just with their new books, novels, comics, and video games, but also, let's not forget about the new Star Wars TV shows and films that are currently in the works by Favreau and Filoni, as well as George Lucas and others. This is Mike Zero. Make sure to subscribe if you're new to the channel for future Star Wars updates. Also, by the way, guys, make sure to drop a thumbs up on this video to support the channel. I thank you also very much for the kind support. It is greatly appreciated. Now, one thing that Disney and Lucasfilm are looking forward to the most when it comes to Disney Star Wars is exactly what Favreau and Filoni are putting together with the mandoverse, and of course surrounding projects that are going to unveil brand new eras that we have never seen before in the Star Wars universe. However, bigger plans are being put into play right now by Disney executives, Favreau, Filoni, and more to really enhance the Star Wars experience all the more in a very unique and unexpected way. Now, one thing about the mandoverse is that basically what it is it is indeed a foundation to create a number of branches of new Star Wars spin-offs and other Star Wars TV shows out there, new stories, etc., that are really going to open up the gateway to possibilities of what Disney and Lucasfilm have the ability to do. Now, looking ahead to the future, one thing that Favreau and Filoni have actually been working on for a very long time now is something very specific with the Mandoverse era projects, and one of which has a lot to do with new Star Wars movies and exactly what's been going on behind the scenes over at Disney. And of course, Lucasfilm is really going to bring Star Wars back to its roots and back to the vision of George Lucas in a brand new way, that Favreau and Filoni are planning a brand new sequel trilogy of movies. Now, with that being said, with Disney and Lucasfilm currently developing their new Star Wars TV shows and movies for the Star Wars franchise, creators Favreau and Filoni are beginning to pitch more ideas and concepts to Disney executives. One massive project that has recently been approved by Disney executives is set to change things across the board for the Star Wars fandom. Now, it's noted that recently Disney executives closed a deal with both Favreau and Filoni to create a new Star Wars sequel trilogy, in a sense, that will be, of course, movies based on the Mandoverse, that is set to arrive on, of course, either Disney Plus or in the theaters sometime in the future in the form of a trilogy that will have a very high budget. However, Disney executives have been undecided if they want to release it into the theaters or not. Currently, Disney has two other trilogies in the pipeline, one of which dubbed as the fourth trilogy that will focus on the events before the High Republic, and the other is the continuation of the Skywalker saga in a post-Episode 9 format that is Disney's Endgame, so to speak. However, this new sequel trilogy that is being planned is set to focus on characters like Luke Skywalker, Ahsoka Tano, Din Djarin, and others in the form of big-budget films. Now, this is said to have been something that Favreau and Filoni planned years ago, and even pitched to Disney. However, Disney told John and Dave at the time that they wanted to see these projects in the form of TV shows first, so that they can actually expand on those characters in the forms of new films. This new Star Wars sequel trilogy is set to expand the Mandoverse and all the surrounding characters that are going to become a part of this new trilogy, with new stories for Ahsoka, Luke, Thrawn, Ezra, and more. Now, let me just pause here for a second before we get on to the more involved material, is that this is basically Jon Favreau and Dave Filoni's Endgame, as well as Disney's Endgame, for the new Star Wars universe. Basically, what they want to do now is they want to create this new sequel trilogy series of movies, and it's all going to be based within the Mandoverse. Alright, so basically what they're doing is that, yes, they are giving us a new sequel trilogy, but it's not going to be a new episode 7, 8, and 9 per se. It's going to be something else when it comes to how they're going to be able to title those films. And that really, I think is going to make things a little bit less confusing for casual fans if they were to just call these things 7, 8, and 9, let's be honest. And that would be very confusing for a lot of people. So they can't just do that. That's the realistic, reality of everything here. But they are going to be calling it something different, giving it its own title. It could very well be something, for example, like, Star Wars Heir to the Empire, Chapter 1 2, and 3, or part 1, 2, and 3. It could be something as simple as that. But they are going to be making these into movies. Now, like I said before, Favreau and Filoni, they pitched these ideas way back in 2019. Disney shot them down because they wanted to see these characters firsthand and to see exactly what they actually were capable of. And that's why they're waiting on the Mando Season 3 and 4 stories, as well as the Ahsoka Tano TV show. And they're still moving forward with this. This is still in the pipeline. They're very excited about this, but they don't want to begin official work and or development on this until they see the success of Mando 3, 4, and the Ahsoka TV show. Those 3 projects. Which kind of gives us a little bit of a timeline idea that they could very well begin production on this by 2025. Moving forward. Now, of course, however, Disney is still trying to find a way to market these new trilogy movies. Since they cannot call them episodes 7, 8, and 9, they are now in the phase of trying to create a way to properly title these movies in the general sense. Lucasfilm is looking to make this very special for fans, and that Favreau and Filoni are planning to become involved with the new sequel trilogy of Star Wars. The one thing that Favreau and Filoni are focused on is introducing a brand new war that our heroes will have to face in this new sequel trilogy, in a sense, that they are planning to make Thrawn and a new dark side user to be the new villains of this new trilogy. It's something that Disney is very excited about, and to them, is the best way to move forward with movies, and of course, that can feature some of the beloved characters at their younger lives. Now, Lucasfilm is planning to announce and tease this new sequel trilogy during the holiday of next year to make it very special for fans. This is described to be Disney's big endgame, using the TV shows to build the momentum for a new sequel trilogy that will take place in a post-episode 6 of the franchise. With a higher budget, they plan to make them very cinematic. Now, let's just pause here for a second. Now, the thing about this too is that basically what they want to do also is introducing a brand new war to these new trilogy movies. A brand new war is something that I think is going to be very much needed for a trilogy that's going to feature characters like Luke, Ahsoka, and others, right? Now, we already know that Ahsoka Tano, the series itself, is going to set up a new war with Grand Admiral Thrawn and his forces. It's exactly why Ahsoka Tano kind of teases that in The Mandalorian Season 2 when she fights the Magistrate. She says, "Where is Grand Admiral Thrawn?" She's on the hunt for him. Not just to find Ezra, but to also get a hint more about what he's planning behind the shadows. Alright, so there's a lot of work being poured into this. We're going to be learning more and more about this by 2023, especially during the holiday season of next year. I know a lot of fans are going to say, well, Mike, why can't they just, erase 7, 8, and 9 completely, the movies, and just take them off of the canon? They just can't do that because Disney owns Star Wars, and that's what they're doing with these actual projects. John and Dave are trying to find a workaround to introducing something else to the fans that is still technically a sequel trilogy, but not a 7, 8, and 9 per se. So that's their game plan right now. That's Favreau and Filoni's way of kind of dodging some bullets and really doing something unique and original. So overall, guys, drop a comment below. Let me know what you guys have to say about this below in the comments. And if you guys did enjoy the content for today, make sure to drop a thumbs up on this video to support the channel. I thank you all so very much for the kind support, and I'll catch you guys next time.
Night to move.